weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. Since we've no place to go.
Hello everyone, it's Denise at Something Beautiful Handcrafts, and it's time for the merino spin. I think this is day 12 maybe, so I'm starting to feel like I'm at the halfway mark, which is pretty good. And I can tell you already I'm getting a little tired of Vlogmas. I don't know if I'll be doing this again next year. When I first started to do it, it seemed like a great thing to try, just to kind of challenge myself. And for the first 10 videos, I had something to say. Now I kind of feel like a little creepy voyeurism, but I'm gonna keep going as long as I can. Okay, now, and it's becoming increasingly harder to keep this area straight as I work through whatever it is I'm working through. It's just the neat and tidy jean, I didn't get it. I was in some other line when the neat and tidy domestic jean got passed out. I got the jean for power tools instead. I don't know. Okay, so this is the New Zealand possum merino top from my secret stash video. And I really hate to use it. There's about 2 ounces of it, and I don't even have the slightest idea of what I plan to do with it. I know some of you all, because you've told me you do that go with the flow kind of spin kind of thing. But I am like besides the fact that my room is a big mess, otherwise I plan everything. I'm like really big on planning. So I really have to plan and feel it at the same time. I don't normally just spin, because what I'm making kind of definitely guides me as to how I want the spin to look. So I don't have any idea what I'm going to do with this. I don't know if I'm going to want something thick or thin or textured or smooth. I don't really know. It makes it hard for me to spin it. So I've been going over in my head what I'm actually going to use this for. I don't know. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to spin to what I think the fiber wants. Now this is merino. We pretty much all know about merino, but it also has a New Zealand possum. And normally for a brief study, I would take you through a history of the New Zealand possum and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to do that. The possum is, of course, it's not the same as our American possums. The fiber is longer. And I'm just going to say that they are a pest in New Zealand. So it's possible that some people could take issue as to the way the fiber is harvested. I just want to make a disclaimer and say that I did not buy this fiber. It's part of my Knit Fairy stash. I don't know if I would have bought New Zealand possum fiber. I don't know. But I'm certainly going to try it. And I'm also under the impression that it is a smooth, hollow fiber, very much like Angora. So it's going to be very, very warm. So I really don't need a very thick yarn. I'm not going to show you the label on the bag because from what I can tell, this fiber is very short staple and full of neps, which also will determine on what it becomes. And the neps, as far as I can tell, the neps look like merino neps. So this was really short fleece it was blended with, and I would probably say that it was either over carded or it was contained a lot of shorts in it, and either one of those will give you fiber with a lot of neps. So I wouldn't count this as the best quality sample, but I'm going to make do. If you've noticed how short the space is as I'm drafting, that's because this is really short. Now I expect the possum to be really short, but I prefer that the merino is not. And if you've heard me talking about some merinos before. When I was first introduced to merino, a lot of it was this short 1.5 inch, maybe barely 2-inch fiber. And so that really, for some time before I really got some decent stapled merino, that really put me off. I am not a big fan of short fibers. To me, this is almost short enough to be cotton. And I can see that there's enough neps in it that it's going to be fairly impossible for me to produce a smooth yarn. Okay, now there's some thoughts about this. When you encounter fiber like this, you have some options. You can stop spinning it, which in my case is generally my first option. You can try to card it again or comb it and remove the neps. I have a sneaking suspicion, though, that if I was to recard this or try combing it, it would remove the majority of the fiber. Because there's not just neps in this fiber, it is neps. And it's short. I could try blending it with something else, but then whatever I blend it with is going to be a fiber that now has, is full of neps. So there's no reason to destroy one fiber for another. And technically I do have a fourth option. The fourth option is simply to felt this. I've never been a really good felter. And believe me, I have tried. This would probably make a really wonderful needle felted creature. I'll just have to give that some serious thought. It's getting a little better here. Or maybe I'm just getting a little better at spinning these neps. Okay, so This is like a big note. No, we're going to say big note to this. And you know what? That is okay. Unless I'm spinning for someone else, somebody else's stuff that needs to be spun, sometimes you just say, you know what? That is not going to work. It's just not going to work. Let me see. I'm going to show you this. I'm not sure if you can see that in the camera view. But basically, that is just all neps. Chunks of neps all in between everything. Neps, neps, neps. You know what? And when you have longer fibers and you have some neps, you can get a really nice, cool effect. And shorter fibers, me personally, no. And what happens is the neps tend to shed. They peel faster. So merino, for the most part, is susceptible to peeling. And this is one of the reasons why. Because a lot of times, no, I want to say a lot of times, there are times when merino, as far as commercial and what you're getting for hand spinners, is short. And these shorter fibers, fine fibers, they tend to, when they get friction, they snap and they peel. So you like it to get peels all over merino garment anyway in the first place. Secondly, to add danger to the mix, you're purposely putting these neps in the fiber, or you've got neps in the fiber from over carding. So now you've got more things that are going to peel on the garment. Then you've got these other shorter fibers. So in my case, no, I would not want to add the neps and things to the mix of anything particular I'm doing. Okay, so that looks like pretty much, that was a bust. I wish I had examined it before I started spinning, but hey, this is a valuable lesson to learn. Kind of goes on my list of things I would not spin now that I'm actually unwinding this and looking at the quality of this carding. That's just a hot mess right there. Okay, so I'm going to stop this here. And we'll pick something new for tomorrow. I'll spin something totally different. All right, people. Thanks for going along this little journey with me. Until tomorrow's adventure, have a great day.